Okay, here we are, another exciting day. We're on day 6, kind of. So it ends Friday at noon. The game jam does. So we have tonight, tomorrow night, and a little bit Friday morning. So let's bring up what we have. Godot, Tippy Towers, soon to be renamed Handle with Care. So here's how it looks now. I've added a couple things last night and this morning that I'll bring up in a second. Okay, so this is how it looks. Let me fire up writer, which I'm currently only using for Git. It's a very large, expensive Git client right now, especially if I just use it as a terminal. So let's fetch here. And let's see, I added, so previously the end game screen didn't have the right day. And I added a thing where the day flies in from the side, like it says like day 1, zoosh, and day 2, zoosh. I added a little sign in the corner. I added a bunch of stuff. So let me just kind of just go ahead and show you. Reload. Okay. Yeah, so it's a little, I'll do it again because it's kind of quick. I mean, it's not super hard to miss, but there's this day 1 thing that flies in. I added a little sign over here that says packages here. This is kind of I don't want to do a tutorial. This is too simple of a game for that, but to like give people a hint, there's that. You'll notice I added a little bit more over here in the top left. There's this little like, this little gate, uh, which is just, it's fun. Whee. There's also these buttons on the side. These are like toggle buttons, and it makes your crane move faster. I think I'm gonna slow it down a little bit because it's so fast that it's a little unusable. So right now it's double speed, so I'm thinking of doing like 1.5 or something. Same thing for like when you're going up or down. You can also increase that speed. Oh, super glitch. Okay, see, bug free. It's fine. You just restart. I don't know what did that. It should just be like the speed here. Okay, well, anyway, I'm sure that'll never happen again. Um, so then last thing is this little pull chain here. And if you pull it past a certain threshold, it releases it and it triggers the next object for you. And this is kind of fun. It actually gives you a way to speed run a bit because once you've picked up an object over here and you dropped it, like if you're at the beginning here, sorry, I probably should not have had popcorn right before the stream. You can do this, drop it, and then grab the next one. So it's also just fun to pull. It is a little janky, but I'm gonna pretend it's on purpose. And then you can pull the next one. All it does is it resets the timer to 0, so it kind of, otherwise it just works the way it normally would. Yep. Yeah. So the first thing I'm gonna do is there was an exploit that was found yesterday where you could just, or this morning, where you could just pull it. It is a little, you have to be a little gentle with it, otherwise it'll get broken. But you could just kind of keep going here, because the more packages you pull, the later, um, is it? I mean, it should be like a later day. Uh, yeah. See, interestingly, it doesn't say like day 5. So I think you need to fix that. Like if it triggers the spawn, it doesn't trigger the day messaging for some reason. But there's this problem where even while objects are stacked up over here, if the left side here is completely backlogged, um, then you can still pull the cord. So really, it should say it worked that time. While I think it was like because the natural timer was happening though. Um, it should say like whatever the area that triggers the little flashing light up here. That should this thing, the shoot area, should also block this handle from being pulled. So we're gonna say, how does this work normally? So we have items in shoot here, and this is kind of not great. Right now it's just directly turning off its own status light, but that's the only thing it's doing. So I'm gonna say shoot status. I'm gonna create a signal. Shoot status um, occupied. Man, popcorn kernels are kind of the worst. And if you go from 0 to 1, then it'll emit a signal shoot status. Well, actually, let's call it shoot occupied because status true is kind of confusing. Shoot occupied is occupied. That is the name of the parameter doesn't actually matter. So shoot occupy, or I guess we need to rename this already. True. And then shoot occupied false. So now, I mean, the shoot status light could also kind of go to this, but let's not worry about that. So now, we can. So there's a couple things we can do. Like we can make it so you can't use it, or it's like off screen. I think the physics is too broken for it to be like move off screen gracefully and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do instead is just have it not do anything. Like you can't pull, I mean, you can pull on it, but it won't trigger anything. So let me go ahead and do, this is the next item handle. And it has a script. Let's see how this looks. Let's make this be like waiting for package false. Or let's say like shoot blocked. Shoot blocked false. And then here we can say, I have so many conditions here. If the mouse is down and is not recently triggered and not shoot blocked, and I don't know how you can do like this doesn't work. Does this work? I mean, this is just the perils of using significant white space in a programming language is I don't know how, like I could pull this into another condition, but into another variable, but we like the short circuiting. I'm kind of curious about that. So now we need to set it. So let me think. If we're looking at this, Do we want to pull in? Do we want the chute to know about the handle or the handle to know about the chute? I think the latter. Okay, so let's mark this as a unique name. And for the next item handle, we'll pull this in here. And we'll construct our ready. Chute dot chute occupied. Maybe I'll just call this chute occupied here also. That would make sense. Connect. We're going to do like a lambda function here. Is occupied. What am I calling this? Is occupied. Okay, good. Is occupied. Can I just say bool? Chute occupied equals is occupied. Okay. All right. So this is gonna be a little bit of a pain to test. Let's make sure there's no errors. Especially if I lose first. Something I might be able to do. Well, this is kind of in the way. Like here, I can't pull it. Well, I can't pull it in general. Let's see. Like I shouldn't be able to pull it. Yeah, there we go. I mean, this is what I mean by it's kind of this is a weird Godot artifact. Like it shouldn't be able to do that. Anyway, so this is working. Let's go ahead and commit this. Can't request, can't pull cord handle, can't pull handle for a new package if chute is blocked. Okay, let's go ahead and push that. So what else is there? So let's switch gears for a little second. The one problem, okay, is there's no retry button here. So the only way to play this again is to like restart it, which is kind of a pain. Especially it's a pain on like when you're in the browser because you have to like reload the page and download another 30 megabyte file and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do that. This day fly through, does it? It's kind of a pain for this to be like on all the time, but if I turn it off, then you won't be able to see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say just set this equals to when you trigger, just make sure you're visible. Visible equals true. Okay, so now it's always good to test things. Even though it's not on, you can still see day equals, I mean, it stuttered a little bit, but day equals 1. Okay. I don't think that needs a separate commit. So here we have this screen. So the end game screen it's just a VBox right now, which is fine. And you can see it's got all these things are just like a VBox will vertically stack all of its contents. What is type? Okay, well that's not even used. Okay, so there's a group container here, and I use it for aligning things like this. I'm not going to use that. So I'm curious to know if there's like a separator. Separator. Well, it's a separate. I kind of meant more like spacing. Maybe I can do this. Okay. All right. And below that, I'm gonna throw in a button. Let's just go for a regular button. This is too wide, but I'll fix that in a second. Okay. This is all fine. So usually under here, you can go shrink center. And I want to add more padding because this is gonna be mobile, mobile friendly. Plus, it's the only button on the page. It's nice to have big friendly buttons. Wait, is there no padding, margin, spacing, size? I guess I can do size. First, I'm going to change the font size. Maybe, and that will help a bit. I think I've said this before. I'm a strong advocate of using themes. Themes are pretty good, pretty cool. They're a little. The UI stuff in general is fairly user friendly. The themes are a little bit unfriendly. They're fairly fidgety. But until you've used them a bit. But if you ever like, this is the only thing in the game that has this style, then you might as well just use it here. So I'm gonna say nice big button to encourage people to click it. That spacing is weird though. Shrink. Well, I mean, I don't actually want it to shrink, but okay, I can't change this. Why is this being a pain? I mean, I think it's being a pain because it's a child of a container. But I feel like the positioning actually, whatever. So the styles are gonna be like something else. Does this help any? I think that's very large. Whoa. That's cool and not helpful. It's fine. Let's just say here's your retry button. Okay. Retry button. So on the endgame screen, this is where we're sticking all of our scripts for right now, for some reason. Retry button, and we're gonna say retry button dot pressed. So if you click on retry button, you can see there's button up, button down, toggle, and I think pressed is the logical one here. Press.connect self retry pressed. And what options does it have? It doesn't have any options. Okay. Func retry pressed. And I think what I want to do is reload the game scene. I'm gonna need to Google this. Godot load scene. So I don't want to preload it. Change scene to file. I think this is what we want. There's some things here where like you can do you can preload it into, I mean, this is kind of a weird example they give because I think it's instantiating the scene like when the first scene starts, and I don't know if that's really what we want. Uh, anyway, I think this is. Let's go ahead and do this. What this is on scene tree. Okay. Here's how you get the scene tree. Then we call change scene to file, and then hopefully autocompletes to the game. And let's say what happens when you click it. Okay, it instantly works. I mean, you can see it's working. Let me let me actually like properly test this. Okay. I guess we'll test this sooner than I thought. I need to fix some of the positioning here. Okay. Did it show the day again? Huh. That's weird. Well, close enough. Okay, let's go ahead and commit that. Okay. I think I'm gonna oh, I wanted to fix that bug. I don't like having bugs that I know about. Uh I mean, obviously at some point you have to concede, but the bugs are gonna happen. But like how this was doing, so this should be after where's their day stuff? After 5 packages. Okay, that time it showed day 2. Was it not doing it before? Oh crap. No. Okay. Oh, right. I need to fix the end screen first. Okay, let me focus on that. Okay, so we have our these two things. They aren't kind of being laid out correctly or relative to the other stuff. So that's why these are kind of special. There we go. Let's make sure this looks okay. That's not helpful. I mean, it's kind of helpful, but not what I meant. Um, okay, retry. All right. Okay. Fix X mark, or like realign, fix X marking on endgame to overlap days reached again. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna try working on sounds. I don't know how well this is gonna work. It'd be helpful if there was someone in the chat who could tell me how the volume was, but I guess I'll just have to kind of test it out myself. So, oh, hold on. Well, before I do that, I want to work on the main menu because I think it'll be fun. So, let me do that first. New scene. What do I want the root to be? guess we do user interface. The thing is, like, I want I want the title to be like physics objects though, and I think that should work. Okay, so let's see. We want margin container is always a good base. Please use the full screen. Okay, this is being a pain. Let me try make scene root. Okay, now can you? Okay, thank you. Okay, so you're the full screen. All your main menu. And save you under scenes as main menu. Virtual, no, VBox. I don't think you need a center container if you have if like this can also be centered. I mean, I don't want to be that small, but okay. So let's do the fun part. First, I want the part that will catch the sign blocks. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah, collision shape. I'm going to use the world boundary again. And we're going to put you, I don't know, here? Where's the screen resolution again? I'm never going to remember this. This thing divided by 2. Okay. Can't see anything yet, but that's fine. Rigid body with a sprite. And a collision shape. So again, this is gonna be like a box that has like the name of the game on it. And there's gonna be 3 of them because there's 3 words. So here we're gonna throw in a rectangle. I think I need to fire. Well, okay. Well, let me get to that in a second. So we have the sprite here. We're gonna use all reliable. That's very large, but it's fine. It's gonna be more like that's not helpful. The one thing why this is helpful is I can like say, okay, I need to make sure that whatever I'm creating is 128 by 64 or whatever. This is roughly, it's a little bit chunky, but I think this is the right rough size. I also want to make I'm gonna put text over the top of it. So I want this to be like, just for this example, you know, the higher contrast. So because you can, I'm going to throw in a rich text label in here. And it's like automatically world space. Let me see if this works. It should work because it's not directly a child of a control. That's not what I meant. Okay, it's working. So here I can say handle, turn off all these garbage features. And here I'm gonna add another theme. So we're gonna say, hey, you get a new theme. And we're gonna save you as main menu, not under scenes, because that's weird. Main menu. And let's see, this is title block. So we're gonna have this have a custom custom style of title block. So unfortunately, this dropdown usually doesn't work for me. I don't know why, but well, okay. Let me turn off. Let me turn that off for a second. So what you can do now is, because this is a descendant of the main menu theme, you can click on the main menu and it can say, you can. I think you can like look. You can click on things over here, which maybe would be fine. But like I don't like which one of these is a rich text label. I don't even know if there is one. But the way you can do this is you click this little plus over here. You say rich text label, add type, and then you say these are all the defaults. And you're like, well, what do I want to modify? I want to modify this to a different value. And it's not working, which is kind of weird. Okay. Okay, so that's fair. Like, I think this would... Okay, so I see what's happening. The theme isn't getting automatically picked up because its parent is not a control object. That's fair. And that's not a big deal. I suppose I can like add the theme here to each one of these things. And now when you're on the main menu theme, you can change the font size. And here you can change the font size of the theme and it instantly updates everything that has that font size. The reason this is nice, in case it's not obvious, is now when you have several of them, you can just say, oh, I want to change the font size. Now you can change them all in the same place. And if you ever have like accessibility features or something where you want to zoom in and change the text or change the colors, you can just modify the theme or switch themes and that'll just kind of magically work. So here you want to change this to width and this to care. I need to stop clicking that button. And it's a little bit boring because they're all, well, multiple reasons. Let's fix it so that at least it's like centered. So, I don't know. Is this gonna help any? Okay, all right. I mean, that did exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Does it stay centered? Okay. Good. We're gonna do the same one here. Center. And center. How's the font size? It's a little bit small. Also, I might switch fonts at some point, but this one's okay. Fonts. What other fonts do we have? No other fonts. All right, perfect. Yeah. So I want to make each of these kind of like sized to their contents. So you're gonna be 2.5. No, that's not what I want. Well, maybe also what I meant. Okay, let me check one more time. Okay, I think these fonts should be bigger. It's the title. After all. So let's go back to where. So I think you can you can modify it here too. And then besides being over here, it's also any overrides you have set up are also in this little nested thing down here. So we're gonna make this bigger. Even bigger. Even bigger. Okay. Almost big enough. Okay, I think that looks good. And maybe we can make the middle one a little smaller. And this is the perfect time to use theme overrides. So it's normally 72. So let's do 60. No, that's not significant enough. Okay. Sure. Let's go with that. Let's see. So you're back to 1 again. That's too much. 2? Okay. That, I mean, they're just kind of overlapping a little bit. That looks good. What about you? You need to be a little bit wider. Okay. Okay. And you are also a little bit more. 1.25? That's a little bit tight. That's a little bit not tight enough. Okay. Okay. That looks good. I'm gonna do these as 9 patches, I think, which means that I don't need to create 3 different textures. I can just make one for and use them for all of them. But these sizes will still be helpful here. So let's go ahead and open up a sprite. And I'm gonna open up one of my previous boxes and then we can reuse the colors. I'm just gonna save this as title box. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. Let's look at the square one because this is kind of better for this. Save as title box. And but the borders are kind of thin. So I'm gonna make the borders bigger. I want a 3x3 box. Okay, no dice. I'm gonna turn on symmetry and just kind of add those lines one at a time. So now it's 2x2, 3x3. And let's go ahead and remove this center line here. Or the swoosh. Oop. Okay. Kind of boring, but it's fine. So now we export this as a title box, title junk, and then we terminate. So now it'll be under here, title box. So now for this, we create a 9 patch rect. And for the texture, we're going to use the thing we just created. I might blow it up a little bit. 2x. But because it's a 9 patch rect, now, so remember each margin is 3 pixels wide. So I can do this. And now I can say, I'm not going to stretch it. But now you can see, like, no matter how wide you make it, it doesn't change proportions or anything. So which is what we want. Okay, so this one is 2 times 128, 256 tall by 96, sorry, wide by 96 tall. So 256 by 96 tall. I think that's bigger than I want because of the scale here. But if you look at this, that 3 pixels is just too hard to see. So I'm gonna bump this to 2, but then these things need to be divided by 2. But it's all good. So you can see this is roughly the same size as the handle box, which is what I was going for. So the sprite's origin here is at the center, and here it's in the corner. That didn't really do anything. Can I move the pivot offset? Okay. Let's do 64 by 24. Okay. So now, whatever this thing's position is, I can set this thing's position. Okay, that didn't work. I think the pivot offset might just be for rotation. Yeah, well, that's annoying. Let me see if there's anything here. I mean, I could just eyeball it, but I'm not great at that, so I prefer to not do that. Maybe I can set the center here and then reset the position. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, well, I can do one thing slightly better though. I can do minus 64. Was not correct. Minus 128 and minus 48. And I guess that'll work. So we throw this in the back. Then we delete the sprite. We also want to change our text to a different color. We can go back to our handy dandy main menu theme. And we have our oh, right. I did do that. I was modifying the rich text label. I kind of wanted to modify it specifically for these title things. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So the rich text label here, now every rich text label that's using this theme is going to look like this, which isn't exactly what I want. I want just these title boxes because well, I guess the rest of the text will be buttons. So maybe this is fine. You can create your own type here, your own theme component, and then apply that just to these things up top. I think this is fine for now. Anyway, changing the color. You want the default color to be kind of a dark brown, kind of cardboardy. And we all know brown is actually orange. Big bamboozle. Well, normally these labels are kind of like black. So let's err on the side of darkness. And you'll notice that like it was a little hard to see, but when you change them now, the colors for all of them are changing. Themes for the win. Okay. So I kind of want to use a pixel font, but I also can't 100% be bothered. Okay, so the collision shape is too small. I duplicated these, so I'm going to make sure this one's unique. And Biggin, okay. It's funny that okay. I guess if we put it on the back, you can't really see it. There we go. All right. It doesn't look very cardboardy, but I guess I'll worry about that later. Okay, so we're going to duplicate our 9-patch rect. And it doesn't have any resources, so maybe I don't... Is there a way to paste unique? That'd be cool. I don't think there is. Okay, so here for 9-patch rect, for the sprite, we want... Well, it's 128 by 64. But I'm gonna have to divide it again. So it's actually 64 by... Oh, I wanted 64 by 32 because the scale is doubled, so it's actually double whatever the size I put in here is. I'm gonna center this, which isn't. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So okay, so here's where it is right now. So I can just do like minus 64 minus 32, and then turn off the sprite, and that's how it looks. One more time. So this sprite is kind of weird ball. So I'm gonna just copy these over and use the math in here. So for the size, we want to say 128 times 1.3 divided by 2. And that will, because the ratio is from here. And now we want to say 128 because that's the size the sprite, the Godot robot sprite, times 0.6 divided by 2. Okay. Sounds good. Position is 0. So we want to say negative x and negative y. Delete the sprite. And ta-da. Okay. I also need to fix the boxes for these. I was originally planning on having these boxes stack, but like entirely vertically, so it's like all 3 boxes on top. Maybe I'll still do that. This is, of course, the most important part of the game, so I need to make sure that my title screen looks top notch. Okay. So once again, like because I copied this, you get stuff like this happening because it's a shared resource. I can just do make unique real quick on the shape over here, and that fixes that. Kind of annoying, but it's occasionally a feature I want, but it's like more often a feature I don't. This one is like a weird shape. So let me see if I can just like take the size here and like put this in exactly. There we go. Let's do the same thing for the height. All right. Pixel perfect. Well, it's pretty close. Close enough, even if it is a quarter of a pixel off. Okay, so the last thing is that these need to have like a tilt to them. I'm gonna lower this a little bit. Lower. And you guys can go up here. I think it'd be kind of funny if they weren't always like readable. I mean, it's going to drop in the same orientation every time. So I'm going to add a script for that to randomize a little bit. Scripts, title block, GD, and looks good. This is another thing that I'm still getting used to with GD script is when you're on the script menu, whatever you're looking at up here isn't what's actually like these tabs up here aren't where you're looking at it. It's what's over here that you are looking at. And it's not even on the screen necessarily, it's in a scroll down. So I love to hate it. Let me say like export var min angle is a float. Export var max angle in degrees. And I can also say range I think this is just a string, like a special format string. No? Okay. In C# it's a format string. So here is kind of a reminder to myself. I can say export range 0360. And now when you click on the title block, you can see you can have this thing here. If I were being more sophisticated, you could like enforce that maximum is greater than minimum, but I'm not gonna do that. So on start, we're gonna apply this rotation. Random rotation equals min angle degrees plus max angle degrees minus min angle degrees times a random number. Oh, I did more work than I needed to do. So there's also a rand range, which does that for you. So I'm just gonna do that. Min angle degree, max angle degree. There you go. Super easy. I'm gonna make sure this is a float. Does it work with ints? Oh yeah. All right. Um, uh, let's do negative 360. Okay, so the way this looks is if you go here and you kind of want this wobble, and the current rotation, you can see the sign on this is always confusing to me. Like I feel like this is a positive rotation, but I guess rotation is clockwise. I guess that makes sense. Maybe that is normal. But I want to say like negative 45 to positive 45. Negative 45 to positive 45. It looks like it's the same every time. Oh, did I? Okay, I'm stupid. I need to actually use it, of course. This is why you test things. Okay. And you don't have to use a variable for this, but it's... Okay. So that was tilted up, tilted way up, tilted flat. Okay, tilted. Okay, yep, it's working. For width, this also gets the same script. Title block. Negative 20 to positive 20. Let's give you less wiggle. And let's do for title block 3. Let's do the same as the first one. Just so I don't confuse myself, I'm gonna set these rotations back to 0. Okay. Perfect. I'm a genius. What can I say? So I'm gonna go back to the game scene. I'm gonna add this. So I need to add something. I want to add something that it sits on top of. I'm gonna copy the ground here. So let's copy the ground and then go back to our scenes, main menu, and throw this in here. I don't know if I need this other object anymore. This thing has a collision shape. I am going to make it wider. Just in case. Well, what if I didn't? What if it sometimes fell off the screen? That'd be stupid. I might do it though. So I'm definitely going to remove this for now. It's a dumb idea. It's funny, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. Let's widen this to most of the screen. I think that's fine. 1,000 pixels. And oh, why is this still here? And the 9 patch rect, you can. Is this actually which is being used? Here 1,000 pixels, but negative 500. Okay. Looks good. Oh gosh, I can still almost fall off the screen. Okay, let me fix the stripes. I don't know if they need to go all the way out, but they should go most of the way out. More faster. Okay. Typing for the win. Negative 500. Does this look okay? I don't want to go all the way out there. 900. Negative 450. Oh, I don't think I knew about that button. Okay. I love it. Okay, let's go a little bit more. 980. Whoops, I guess I need to do this first. 980 divided by -2. Yeah. It's fine. I might move these things over. They're not quite centered. Okay. That's kind of boring. There we go. If I raise this up a little higher. Okay. All right, enough messing around. Working on main menu, title boxes. Okay, but it's not in the game yet. So wait, there's this VBox container here. I'm gonna need to like push it down. I think I can do that. First of all, well, I think I can do that with this. Because the purpose of the margin container is to push things away from the margins. That's the whole reason we have it. So I can change the margin top here to something a lot, like 400. That's not working the way I expected to do. Negative 400. Okay, let's try adding the buttons first. Button. We'll rename it play button. It has the word play on it. I'm going to change the main menu theme so that I guess this is just like a playground, and then you like use the eyedropper to pick a thing. So here's the button, and we're going to change the font size to 48. Yeah, that looks passable. Okay. It's even like the wide button actually looks okay. Maybe I'll do that for the retry also. Okay, so now why is this so tall? Let me I always want to, is there, okay. Maybe is it a, oh, it's a min. Oh, right, it's a min height. Okay, I did set that myself. I have no one to blame but myself. Okay, but what I want to do is like push down, which you can't do here because the margin container controls that. So, that's not really. Oh, like, me. So I might move the stuff out of the. Obviously, this is kind of insane. Um, move stuff out of this container here. I'm gonna make a new node here, just like a basic node, 2D. Yeah. Main menu. I'm gonna make this the parent, the scene root, and then we can call this UI. And then I'm gonna move all this other stuff out of here. And then I have to fix everything. So the main menu, your position is fine. Why are you guys all still messed up? That's annoying. I'll center this more exactly later. Okay, so let's fix your position. Why are you like this? Why are you this weird shape? Is it min size? No, this node doesn't have a control parent. You are the control parent. Okay, I don't want to do that. I think having like that seems cool. And this seems cool. Why are you so like this? Okay, so let's reset the margin and reset the size. Let's. There's also something like bottom wide. No, but that's that didn't work. Okay, all right, you're being difficult. All right, I guess I can just position the box here. Maybe I'll do that. Okay, so the width is that. So let's set the viewport width correctly here. That's the height. I think we want like half that. Reset the position. And clearly in the wrong half. So let's not do that. 224. Okay. Pretty good. I don't know if I want it like, yeah, that looks fine. I don't know if I need like an exit button because like you're playing in a web app. What are you gonna do? You can just leave the page. Um, I'll throw it in there. No, I don't think I will. So existential. Um, I think the anchors here might be problematic. Like maybe I want to do when you have like top left here, do these anchors like usually these anchors if I'm thinking back to Unity, these anchors are like when you resize the page or the screen, it impacts how things stretch. But I don't like every setting here has the same, like it's in a different spot, but it's always these 4 points are like touching each other. Okay. Well, that was Can I just undo back to sanity? Okay. Let's try. It is a little concerning that like this is up there, but I don't know how to actually move it. Like they're anchor presets, but are there anchor? Oh, like these aren't moving anything. Whatever. Okay. Um, like it's still center bottom, which I guess is what I want. Okay. So for the play button, we want it to play. I'm going to create the scripts all up here because that way I just have one script that handles everything, and I kind of prefer that. Scripts slash main menu UI. Doesn't really matter that you're a margin container. Let's just say you're a container. Okay, we're going to take the play button. I don't know why that always happens. I mean, I kind of do. I'm just afraid that if I click on something over here, that's going to change the script that's open. That's not how it works, but I'm always afraid of that. Okay. So incidentally, the play button is going to work the same way as the retry button. Ta-da! Because all this does, like they work the same way. Because here's the main menu UI. Play button pressed. Connect. I'll make a function. Self dot play button pressed. Still no callback. No argument. So I can just say that. And there you go. If this is a bigger game, you'd want to do like a loading screen here. You'd want to, I think the two options are either you pop over to another, like a quick to load scene, and then load from, and then like preload and then switch. Or you can just kind of like layer a banner on top of the game here. But the game is so small. I mean, I really need to test in web to be sure, but perfect. Yeah. I've already forgotten how to play my own game. I think I'll show the controls. Oh, it'd be nice to have like a pause menu. I mean, there's gonna be controls like in the description. There already is, but it'd be nice if they were in the game. Okay. I'd also like it like if you pull on this really hard, it like you can break shit. It like it goes further than you're supposed to. Like you're supposed to be after you reach a certain distance, you can't pull it anymore. But now you can like bug it pretty badly. Okay, let's go ahead and commit this. Main menu play button. I'm also gonna do a big step. So normally you could play launch directly into the game. I'm gonna change the main scene to the first one. So we're gonna change the name to, no, I'll do that in a different commit. Main scene. Ta-da! Main menu. I wonder what this is. The name of the type inputting the engine's main loop. Okay, that sounds crazy. Okay, so now when you click play, it does this. And if I want to test this level again, I can't just click play. I have to click the play scene button, which isn't too onerous, but just have to remember. Okay, let's get close to all I want to do for the stream. Let me see if I can fix that handle to make it less buggy. Switch main scene over to main menu. And it's been a few commits, so let's go ahead and push, and then we can try it out. Okay, so this is the handle. I tried making the chains narrower, but the pixel art doesn't work well when they're narrower. So here I'm saying I'm doing all this stuff, all these things. And the place it's triggering, I say, there's something that says like if it's outside of the range. What is the range? I'm trying to figure this out. Is this just hard coded somewhere? Oh, trigger distance. Trigger distance is that. So it's checking this in process. And my concern is that wait, why did it break? Wait, why did it break? Invalid get index shoot occupied on null instance. Why is shoot null here? Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, so if I run the scene, I have to now make sure that I have the game scene open. Okay, understandable. Understandable. Okay. So where was I? Where's the handle thing? There we go. Close other tabs. Okay, so the problem is this is happening in process, and this isn't happening in physics process. And I think that means there's a few frames where it gets away from you. So let me try just moving this wholesale down here. Let me think about this. Okay, so if the mouse is down and not recently triggered, then you can emit the signal. But if it is recently triggered, then it won't hit this code path here. All right, I mean, this should work. It's a little bit more expensive because it's gonna be, in physics process, but it should be fine. Why are you letting me do this? Okay, that didn't fix anything. The only thing I can think of is the chain anchor moving? Because the distance from the chain anchor to the handle, and the handle is, oh wait. Okay, hold on. Next item handle, which is hopefully this. So this is the handle. This is the thing that we're moving. So you're a kinematic body, but you can't move, right? Even though you have a pin joint here. What happens if I change this? Change type to static. Okay, chain anchor. Still, that hasn't changed. Well, that's a little bit better. No, maybe it's not. Let me think. So the mouse is down. Actually, I think maybe is it any of these other things like not shoot occupied. Oh, I wonder if that's it. Ah, crap. So like when it's not occupied, you can just no, it still breaks. I thought maybe it wasn't triggering, like if you can't trigger, then it doesn't break. Uh, sorry, it doesn't stop you from interacting with it. So the mouse is down, and not recently triggered is false because the game just started. And the only thing that sets it to true is this code path. And the shoot is not occupied. We know it's not occupied. Um, I'm going to create another variable called should allow force. And it's true. And we're going to say if the chain anchor is too far, then no, should allow force is false. I'm also going to say well, ideally, I mean, if is mouse down. If not, is mouse down. Should allow force. So I mean, I could combine some of these things, but I think this is just going to be more deliberate here. And if recently triggered, should allow force is going to be false. So now we can say if should allow force, then allow the force. Okay, so these are kind of duplicative here. Maybe I can say this in a variable. Or handle exceeded distance equals this. We have handle exceeded distance, and you also go here. This means you just pulled the handle too far. Let's give this a try. Okay. Is this worse? So it should be like you pull it too far. So like if you pull it to here and let go, it just kind of works. If you pull it too far, is the distance not being calculated correctly? So the distance isn't from the mouse to the handle, though that might be, maybe that'd be better. I mean, it'd be kind of a hack because I really want to be like when the anchor is too far here. What if I just lower this a little bit? Not 0, that wouldn't make sense. Why Godot? Why do you do this to me? Um, okay, so if it's too far, then it aborts. Then it doesn't allow you to apply the force. If the mouse, if you're not holding on the mouse, then it's not going to apply the force. If you just triggered it, and since having this is the intent here is if like you have, well, like once it's triggered, you have to let go. So if recently triggered and not mouse down, then let's just kind of make sure that works. Okay. Because so all this is doing is you're supposed to apply a force every frame. I mean, the way apply force works is a force is time dependent meant to be applied every physics update. The only thing I'm not doing is I'm not multiplying by delta here, which this is going to make it a very small force, but let's start with that. Imagine if that just fixed it. I don't want to, you shouldn't have to like pull it off the screen. Let's just throw in a multiplier in there. Okay. So remember, delta is like one divided by 60 or something. It's something very small. I don't know why this is working so well. Was it just the force was just too big before? Or was it actually like time frame or like time step dependent? Day 3. So like now you can't pull it. So it's glitching out because, oh, okay. This is so many things. Um, it also needs to be the shoot thing. If shoot occupied should allow force is false. Okay. Okay, I think this will be the last thing because this is looking pretty good. You actually can't apply any force on it at all while the shoot's not occupied, which is kind of annoying. Wow. A good braking mechanic there. Okay, so this is what I want. It's not exactly like a dark pattern. It's a little, oh, okay. It's a bit of a dark, hey, the day is working now. That's good. A little bit of a dark pattern because like it's an interaction that you can't always, that's fine. And you can't always use. So the other thing is I want to make sure that you can still pull it without going outside the screen. Because on mobile, that's going to be stupid. Even on desktop, it's not great. Let me increase this to 5. And that'll be my last test. I also want to put a sign up here that says pull, but then like it falls off after you've pulled it a couple times, because you don't really need to see it indefinitely. Okay. Suffice to say, can I change this back? It's funny. Cheap humor. No, it's actually too far now. Okay, big sad. Okay. Okay, so now some of these changes I like to do a little kind of self code review. So here you can see we changed the trigger distance. We moved logic from process to physics process, which I'm not even sure that's strictly necessary, but it's not hurting anything. And then also I did a couple commented or some print statements and refactored this. So I'm going to say make next item handle less glitchy. Separate out whether the force can be applied from triggering logic. Sign those up to be committed and push. And I think that's a good stopping point. So one last demo for the road. Now it says handle with care. Even if you can't always read it, you notice as you came to the page. And you click play, and you can pull the handle, and get all kinds of packages. Okay, cool. I think tomorrow I'm going to get rid of some of these gray backgrounds. I'm going to get rid of the gray backgrounds, and maybe add sound effects, kind of some juice stuff, and maybe also like add a like a level 3, something like with circles. Okay, one more full day. Well, evening, I should say. See you then.